Welcome to NLTV. Mon yeti NLTV kan yeti aji Imphal ti aina ase. Yeti mon NBF laga president, state president lo di olop huda hudi kuri lo. Idu mon tai lo di chani wole thakya do yeti presidential rule idu date 9 February di ba impose kuri na ase. To Manipur di idu impose kuri na thakya do situation kina ase aro tahan tu idu kina crisis tu tahan handle kuri na ase aro kina cha ase idu huda hudi kuri lo aro FMR law di bi olop huda hudi kuri na apnan ki honai dio. Can you give us the present situation crisis in Manipur?
Well, if we talk about the present situation, the situation is much improved. Beginning from 3rd May 2023, Manipur was in a law and order issue. There was a big crisis, but now it is almost normal. Situation is under control.
Sir, can you also let us know the places where it have been affected?
If you talk about the crisis or the ethnic clashes that took place between Meiteis and Kukis, it affects the entire state, whether directly or indirectly. Of course, in the beginning of the crisis, it was mostly affected in Churachampur, Chandel, Tenopal, and then 4 Bailey districts.
How does the recent resignation of Chief Minister Biren Singh factor into the decision of imposing presidential rule?
Actually, I don't want to go in detail about the circumstances that leading to the resignation of the Honorable Chief Minister Sri Biren Singh. But if we talk about our party's position, we are against the president's rule. But the president rule was imposed officially beginning from 13 February. The NPF Central Office have passed a resolution opposing the president rule that has been imposed in our state.
How does Article 356 of the Constitution relate to the imposition of president rule in Manipur?
Right now, Manipur is placed under suspended animation. Is under president rule. Actually, I don't want to comment much about this because, as I've repeated, we're totally against the imposition of president rule under Article 356 because we have a popular government. It is the democratic country where there is no issue of majority commanding in the House. Imposing a president rule is against democratic principle, so we are against it. I will not say that the president rule has given advantage or disadvantage, but it is against the people's mandate of our state.
Imposing the president rule in Manipur, how is it affecting the immediate consequences of like people affecting the livelihood and the daily lives of the people here in Manipur?
You see, now people doesn't have, I will say, they don't have a freedom to go to the people's representative, to go to the authority, to express their grievances, because it is under president's rule. It is directly ruled by the governor under the supervision of the center. It affects the entire state where we have no more freedom to express our grievances. Of course, it is not totally, restricted, but still then, people represents the grievance of the, people's representative, like MLAs, MPs, represents the voice of the people. Since we're under suspension, we have no voice. So the voice of the people, when it has been suspended, naturally there's no more voice. The voice of the people has been restricted, their voice has prohibited. even though it is not pronounced officially that people's voice have been prohibited. When the assembly is placed under suspended elimination, the people's representative has been placed under suspension. The people's voice has been put under suspension.
The NBF party is totally against the imposing the president rule here in Manipur. So, like, do you think the other parties are also against it, or
I don't know whether other parties are against the president rule or not, but I have not seen any decision taken by any party regarding the imposition of president rules in Manipur. But our party have officially taken a decision, pass a resolution against the president's rule because it is against the wishes of the people. It destroys the spirit of the democratic principle.
how long do you think the president rule in Manipur will be implementing?
I can't say, but as per the constitutional provision, I think they can put president rule or they can enforce president rule for another 6 months. Or after that, if necessary, if center wish to extend the president rule, they have to go to parliament again to take the, uh, you know, mandatory decision again to extend president rule.
So, what role can civil society, the organization, and the community leaders and citizens play in promoting peace, stability, and good governance in Manipur?
You see, people blames government for the crisis that's happening in Manipur. But I always said that public has the big role to play. One have to accept one another. Now, why Meiteis are not crossing the Kuki area? Why the Kukis are not crossing the Meitei area? It is because public resisted against that. Government is requesting government have been requesting the people to let border community pass through one another area and then talk to one another. It is the public that has to come forward and try to accept one another. Then only peace will come. Because that's why I said public has a big role to play in bringing peace in the state. As far as NPF is concerned, Naga People's Front is concerned, we are against the removal of FMR. From day one, we have already expressed our feeling about this. We have already taken the decision that we will oppose this scrapping of FMR.
Can you also explain the historical context between the free movement regime between India and Myanmar, and how is it affecting Manipur?
You see, it is a very, very sensitive issue, which it will be wrong for me to talk. Put my own opinions. But since time immemorial, FMR has been enforced. It is recently the government have decided to remove or scrap the FMR, which the people's sentiments are hurt because uh, there has been a free movement with between the two countries. As far as our community is concerned, before India got independence, our people have been living in the place where they are living today. And the artificial boundary of the country have divided many Naga villages into half-half. But when FMR is been imposed, it has been imposed, yes, people are allowed to move from one house to another house. It is not for the Nagas, it is moving from one country to another country. It is a matter of moving from one house to another house within the same village. So when government have decided to scrap the FMR, we oppose, and we have been putting this on record that international boundary has to be redrawn, respecting the traditional boundary of the people. But the border country have not respected this boundary. That is what. That is why we oppose the removal of this FMR.
To remove the FMR, like what are the steps the government is going to take?
You see, it. We have been informed through the medias uh, that FMR will be scrapped. Now, I don't know what step government is going to take as of now.
Are you expecting anything from the central government?
You see, I don't expect anything. I don't have anything to say about it. But as far as our position is concerned, we will continue to stand on our position that if central government is to scrap the FMR, free movement regime, if it is to be removed, then first the international boundary must be redrawn, respecting the traditional boundary of the people, where people in the borders have been living for centuries together. That will be always our position. I don't know how central government is going to take a step, further step.
People living in the border area of Manipur, how is the FMR impacting the daily life of the people out there?
Uh, you see, as of now, I think there's not much change because of the situation in Myanmar. People in the border area have been facing problems since the eruption of the what you call clashes between the ethnic groups or the government and the undergrounds in Myanmar, whatever. There has been already restriction of movement from one place to another in most of the places because of the situation, not because of the scrapping of the farmer. But after the normal situation comes, then we can only see how it changes after this decision is taken by the government of India. But as of now, since the beginning of the you know at issues in Myanmar, there has been already a lot of restrictions because life become risky for the people living in the border to move from one place to another. So most of the movement has been restricted.
Do you think the FMR contribute to the ethnic violence in Manipur?
You say there has been an abnormal increase of population in the state. It is a serious concern of the government to see that the abnormal increase of population, the illegal immigrants that has been moving in into our state freely after the ethnic class, after the the issues happens in the neighboring country. This is one reason why the tension, why the ethnic class happens from time to time. Not only this time, it has happened many a time in Manipur, and this illegal immigrants coming to Manipur is one of the reason. Uh, in a way, people may say that it is because of free movement, but even if there is a free movement regime, there are rules. Illegal migrant is different. They just migrate illegally and then continue to stay. That is one of the biggest concern of the state and biggest concern of our people.
How can the FMR be modified to better address the need of concern of local community in Manipur?
You see, it is a very sensitive issue. Uh, I think I better not elaborate much more on that. I will only say that as far as our people, our party, my party is concerned, we will continue to stand on our decision that scrapping the removal of the FMR as of now, it is against the wishes of the people. So government must reconsider the removal of the FMR, and they should concentrate more seriously on redrawing the boundary, respecting the traditional boundary of the people. Then people's grievances, the long grievances, will be addressed.
I have one last question. What will be the prospect of the future of the FMR given the current security and economic concern?
See, FMR is nothing but it allows certain areas to let the people of both the country to move from one country to another on certain conditions without visa. I think that's all. That's all about FMR. Uh, it doesn't actually contribute much politically or this thing, but since for us it's a very sensitive issue, it is related to all this. We have a long pending issues, which I think it will not be very right for me to elaborate more on that. The Naga People's Front and the other Naga MLAs as well in Manipur, we oppose the decision of the central government for construction of border fencing. We have placed on record that we are against border fencing. Like I said earlier about the FMR, we want the traditional boundary to be respected first, redraw the boundary by visiting the area. We are made to understand that when the international boundary was drawn, both sides may not have visited the place. That's why even in Nagaland, Manipur, Arunachal, we have learned that the boundary is drawn from the village itself, from the middle of the village. That means whether both the side have no geographical knowledge about the boundary area, or they have not respected the village or the people. So we want that the people living in the border area should be given the respect of their rights. Now, most of the villages in our Naga area, villages inside India, their fields are in the Myanmar side, as far as the present boundary is concerned. So we feel that this is the unfinished task, which government of India has to look into it first, see that the traditional boundaries have been respected by sending the competent authority into the area, and then redraw the boundary with the Myanmarese government. Then only we will say whatever government decision, whatever government decide, let it go ahead. But as of now, so long as this boundary has not been relooked, we oppose the construction of border fencing. Whether we're in the ruling government or whatever we are in, whatever position we are, all the elected members, Naga elected members in Manipur, oppose the construction of fencing. Uh, the border fencing has been started somewhere. We don't know whether it is in the in Mizoram side or whatever. But we came to know that some Naga areas have been touched. Some survey team have come to Naga areas. So we told the governor also, we told our CM also at that time, before the president rule was imposed, that Naga people oppose the border fencing. And we as a representative of the people, we have to respect our people's sentiment. And we will stand by our people, and we oppose the construction of fencing till the traditional boundary has been respected.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 10 in Global Chapter, and for Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter.